Hello to you, I'm Alpa Patel. Welcome to BBC London. This is what's coming up. Warnings that thousands more construction workers are needed to meet the capital's housing targets. We're at a building site in West London looking at the challenge of delivering new homes.
15% of the workforce in London is related to the construction industry. So it already has a huge construction industry, but the demand is increasing.
Also on the programme, a burst water pipe gushes down a North London street, forcing people to leave their flooded homes. Plus,
if you like the heat, you're in for a treat. The London's latest heatwave comes with a health warning. I'll have all the details.
And this 7-year-old Surrey football fan tells us why he's toured all 20 Premier League stadiums. Good evening to you and welcome to the programme. Now, we all know that the capital needs more homes. And to meet the growing population here in London, to build more than 60,000 new homes each year. The government has also promised to retrofit existing homes to help residents save on energy costs. Has learned that thousands more construction workers are needed to fulfil those promises. Our Work and Money correspondent Megan Owen spent the day at a site in West London.
Across London, construction workers are racing against the clock to build the homes needed to meet the capital's demand, including on this 575 Southall station. There aren't enough of them. And now there's looming pressure to meet two of the government's big housing targets over the next 5 years. More than 60,000 extra workers will be needed each year to meet the government's target of building 1.5 million homes. 140,000 more will be needed each year to insulate and upgrade 5 million homes to cut bills and slash fuel poverty, as promised by Labour in its manifesto. Although details of the Warm Homes Plan have yet to emerge, the government says it's already training 18,000 skilled workers to fit properties with devices like heat pumps. But the CITB says a more regional approach is needed to train more workers in building hotspots like London.
Really good to see a regional demand, so we can focus specifically on each of those regions. And when we're able to do that, we can look at precisely the kind of skills. And because we can do that, then we can apply the kind of training activity. But we can also support those local employers who are perhaps looking for skills, who don't know where to look for them, with those individuals that's in training, so that the visibility of jobs are available to both.
Plumbing apprentice Will is 5 months into the job, recruited through a local Labour scheme. But it wasn't easy for him to find work.
So I probably applied for 20 or so companies before I found a job. Took a few months, at least maybe 4 months of looking. It wasn't very easy to get into the industry because most people they hire for experience. Anyone has experience, they get chosen first. So it's quite hard to start.
Sites like these are already adapting to the labour shortage, making large parts off-site in factories, including these windows and doors, which are already built into the external walls.
There's a combination of saving in material and also taking the labour away from site. Otherwise, this would be built by bricklayers, and that's where one of the big shortages are. There's also a shortage in ground workers and concrete frame, so another option would be to have a precast concrete frame and have it shipped to site. So we are adapting the method to the labour shortage.
Ministers have laid bare their plans to address the country's housing crisis by investing millions to build and retrofit homes across the UK. The construction industry is now tasked with training thousands more workers to rise to the challenge. Megan Owen, BBC London.
Lots more to come, including Thames clean-up. Work starts to get rid of Wet Wipe Island near Hammersmith Bridge. Now to North London, where homes have been flooded because of a burst water main. Some residents on Canonbury Street in Islington have been moved into temporary accommodation while engineers carry out repairs. Bryony Williams has the details.
Submerged under 40 centimetres of gushing water. This dramatic footage shows the aftermath of a burst water pipe around the Canonbury Street area in Islington around 10 p.m. Sunday night.
I went down, looked out the front, and it was literally like a river coming down all the way down here, and we didn't know where it was coming from because we couldn't get past it. And then we sort of went up and looked out down the street, and you could see this sort of like geyser basically coming out the middle of the road, and it was literally like a river down the street. It was insane.
70 firefighters worked into the early hours of the morning using flood barriers and sandbags to divert water away from properties. Roughly 30 residents had to leave their homes.
Our ground floor friends, their doors on the front on the street were getting completely flooded. We must have had about 30 towels and 5 or 6 people all just like constantly trying to stop the water, wring out the towels, bring the towels back, mop it all up and try and keep everything safe.
Vehicles have now been removed and the clean-up operation is underway. In a statement, Thames Water says excavation to replace a 4.5-metre section of pipe is taking place. We expect work to continue until this weekend. Several properties have been affected by flooding.
The council were able to put up those affected households in its rest centre in one of Islington Council's buildings. Thames Water then ensured that residents who were affected were put up in 2 hotels, with 10 residents in one hotel and 1 resident with their pet in another hotel. And they will be in that safe temporary accommodation until it's deemed that they can return home.
Local residents should still have running water, but Canonbury Street remains closed. Specialist teams from Thames Water are on hand to help those impacted by the flood, and the extent of the damage caused to houses is still being assessed. Bryony Williams, BBC London.
Now, it's known as Wet Wipe Island. Why? Because it's thought around 180 tonnes of congealed wet wipes has formed in the River Thames near Hammersmith Bridge. That is the equivalent weight of 15 double-decker buses. Work is now underway to get rid of it, as our environment correspondent Tom Edwards now reports.
The beginning of the end of the Wet Wipe Island at Hammersmith. 180 tonnes of non-biodegradable wet wipes are being excavated and removed.
I think this is the first project of this scale and this magnitude and around this particular problem, which is wet wipes in the river. And so there was a lot of unknowns. The wet wipes obviously contain plastic, and microplastics enter into the river ecosystem quite easily through wet wipes. So the best thing that we could do was to take those wet wipes out of the ecosystem.
Volunteers from the environmental charity Thames 21 have been monitoring the wet wipes here for 8 years. They removed 140,000 wet wipes. There are so many here, it changed the course of the river. The charity now also wants a law change.
We really want to see producers to be creating plastic-free alternatives. We want water companies to be investing in infrastructure and screening to prevent wet wipes entering the river. We really want government to finally pass the legislation to ban plastics in wet wipes, and we want consumers to be safely disposing of their plastic products as well, so that's putting them in the bin.
A super sewer underneath the Thames that intercepts sewage overflows is already operational. The funding to remove the wet wipes comes from the Port of London Authority and Thames Water. The wipes will go into landfill. It'll cost about £200,000.
What do you say to people who say, well, you should clean it up because it's come out of your sewers? Do you understand that point?
I do understand that point as well. And what we would say, we've invested in the infrastructure to try and prevent it from coming out of those combined sewer overflows. But we need to work on a little culture change, and I don't exclude myself from that. And we need to encourage our customers to only flush pee, poo and paper down the drain, down the toilet, because wet wipes, although they say they're flushable on the packet, they simply just go down the drain and then block up elsewhere.
It'll take about a month to remove the wet wipes working around the tide. Along with the super sewer, it's hoped the Thames could now become the cleanest it's been for decades. Tom Edwards, BBC London.
Let's look at some other news for you. A suspended Labour councillor has gone on trial charged with encouraging violent disorder during an anti-racism protest. 58-year-old Ricky Jones is alleged to have described far-right protesters as disgusting Nazi fascists while addressing a crowd at a demonstration in Walthamstow last summer. The court heard that he'd called for far-right protesters' throats to be slit. A video of the event was shown to the jury. He denies the charges. The trial is expected to last another 4 days. Tiny tracking devices fitted to yellow-legged hornets. It's being hailed a game changer in the fight against the invasive predator. The National Bee Unit has begun trialling the technology as the number of nests hits a record for this time in the season. 53 nests have been found so far this year, the majority in Kent, but there have been sightings in Romford and Ilford too. Yellow-legged hornets are seen as a significant threat to honeybees and other pollinators. Now, it's been hot, hasn't it? And as temperatures continue to rise, London enters its fourth heat wave of the summer. And with it comes a heat health alert. It lasts until Wednesday, meaning there could be travel disruption or increased demand on health services. Well, many of you have been enjoying the hot weather right across London. Let's speak to Layla Hayes, who is at a Lido in East London. Layla, over to you.
Well, I'm at Summer Splash at the Royal Docks. This is right next to City Hall and not far from City Airport. And the best thing about this Lido is it is completely free. Now, it is closed now. It closes at 5 o'clock. But we have spent the day here with families enjoying this incredible weather. Splashing about in the sun. A perfect way to cool off as the temperature rises. And this free Lido in East London is attracting visitors from all over the capital.
It's been really fun. I think even though there are a lot of children here, it's still not very crowded. Like, it's very nice.
It's nice to have a little free day out with the family. So yeah, it's been a really nice day so far.
I came here with my friend Gabby. It was really, really fun.
They play to the water and then we come here, we sit down, and it's a really lovely place. I really recommend everyone can come here.
It's just somewhere we could get out and get a bit of outdoor swimming because, we didn't want to go to the sort of indoor swimming pool and be enclosed. And it's so lovely outside.
I was playing in the water.
How was it?
It was fun.
Not too cold?
Little bit hot and little bit cold.
They're enjoying the activities here, but for the elderly and the very young, London's latest heatwave comes with a warning.
They had to make sure they're well hydrated. It's probably advisable for them not to go out during the hottest part of the day from sort of 11 o'clock onwards, certainly till tea time, and make sure they drink plenty.
Staying cool in this heat isn't always easy, but if you can find some water, that certainly helps. Well, tomorrow it's going to be even hotter, and that means there is an amber health alert for London from 9 a.m. tomorrow until 6 p.m. on Wednesday. Well, I'm joined now by Kate Anderson from the Royal Docks. Kate, that means that you may have to partially close tomorrow, is that right?
Yes, it does mean that, unfortunately. Although we're going to open in the morning, so we're opening as normal at 11 o'clock. We think we might have to close at 1 o'clock, and that will be on our website. But we're anticipating that the health warning will be over and we'll be open again fully from Wednesday. And so we're open then until the end of the week.
And of course, it's very expensive now, isn't it, in London for families? So absolutely wonderful that you can have a free thing like this that families can come to.
Yes, absolutely. And all of our families want to swim in the docks. It's a really brilliant facility. It's absolutely beautiful here. We have a lot of dockside activities, and Summer Splash is always built out every summer as a free facility for local families and visitors for 3.5 weeks in the summer holidays, just to help out with those summer holiday expenses.
And great for people who don't have gardens.
Yes, indeed, very good for people that don't have gardens, and we are in London, so not everybody's got a garden. We have a beach facility here as well, with play activities for the families and a whole heap of different things to do, parasols. It's a really nice environment.
And this is just one of many events you have going on over the summer.
That's right. So we have a whole programme which is called At the Docks. It's like at the seaside, and it's partly about dockside activities, and we have wakeboarding and open water swimming and a sauna. We also had a music festival earlier in the season. We had a free arts festival, and then we've got a big festival, the first ever one, called Royal Docks Originals, which is opening on the 15th of September.
And Kate, just quickly, how clean is the water? Because people are worried about that now.
Yeah. Well, we have the water tested on a daily basis. So we have a management agency that runs the water. It's tested on a very, very regular basis, and we would never open if it wasn't safe to open. So we can guarantee it's absolutely safe. We also have lifeguards, so it's a really nice facility.
Kate, thank you very much for joining us. Well, this is just one of many events that you can now do over the summer in this glorious weather. And the message is stay safe in the sun and enjoy the weather while we have it.
Indeed. Layla Hayes, thank you very much. Now, a consultation on changes to the congestion charge is end today. Transport for London is proposing it rises from £15 to £18 a day to travel into the zone from next year. And for drivers of electric vehicles who currently travel for free and were due to start paying the full charge from December, TfL's proposing a 25% discount. But some say the changes will hurt businesses, as Victoria Hollins now reports.
Tanya has been a private hire driver for 7 years. Driving an electric vehicle means she hasn't had to pay the congestion charge. But that's due to change under plans by Transport for London, which could see her pay £13.50 a day to drive in central London.
My biggest incentive to drive electric was that I wasn't paying the charge. So I think if I'm paying to charge the electric vehicle, which costs more than me fueling up a car anyway, I am more than likely to go back to a petrol vehicle, sadly.
TfL's been consulting on proposals that electric vans will soon get a 50% discount on the congestion charge and electric cars a 25% discount. Both were due to pay the full amount from December.
There's already been a big increase in the number of electric vehicles on London's roads, and Transport for London say without a change to the charging structure, they'd expect to see an extra 2,200 cars every day in the congestion zone by next year.
The congestion charge was introduced in February 2003. Its primary objective to manage traffic levels. TfL says congestion will increase if there aren't changes to the cleaner vehicle discount. But one union warns it could cost between £4,000 to £5,000 a year to businesses already operating under tight margins.
We're very unhappy with the fact that this is going to cost those who can ill afford the extra charge. A lot of people invested in clean vehicles, and ultimately where they've invested in clean vehicles, they're now being expected to pay many thousands of pounds a year extra. Private hire drivers who invested in green vehicles, couriers such as every couriers, those who are doing post for the post office, is going to have a huge financial effect on everyone.
Other proposals being consulted on include an increase in the daily congestion charge from next January from £15 to £18, a 20% rise. It's also considering raising the charge annually in line with inflation. Some fear the changes undermine London's progress in adopting cleaner vehicles. Other organisations want to see more exemptions.
This is broadly a balanced package. We've got about 100,000 cars registered for the cleaner vehicle discount, and it is clear that the congestion charge needs to work there to tackle congestion. I think we have a fear around small businesses and charities. Those charities and those SMEs need better support to go electric and to use electric vans.
Tanya says she's got some decisions to make about her future work. Meanwhile, Transport for London's consultation ends today, and it says it'll make a decision about its proposed changes by the end of the year. Victoria Hollins, BBC London.
Now, yesterday was a good day for Crystal Palace, who beat Liverpool to win the Community Shield. But today, the club lost their appeal against being demoted from the Europa League. They will play in the Conference League this season. Our reporter Matt Graveling sent this report from Selhurst Park.
Less than 24 hours after their win against Liverpool in the Community Shield, and the Eagles have been brought back down to earth. They got to play in yesterday's match due to their heroics in May, beating Manchester City 1-0 in the FA Cup final, the club's first ever major trophy. And as well as getting to play in yesterday's match, they should also have been given a spot in the Europa League. But today, at midday, fans found out that this would not be happening. We'll find out why in a moment, but here is how fans have been reacting.
The fact that we're in the Conference League, I think, is a travesty. We won the FA Cup. We should be allowed to play.
It is still Europe, and West Ham won it. Chelsea won it, didn't they? So, we shouldn't feel upset about that. Let's just get out there and do well in it, and see where it goes.
I think we'll win the Conference League quite easily. I think it's just good for us, because I don't think we're ready for Europa League yet.
A bit disappointing, but yesterday kind of showed that it's about winning trophies and silverware, and that's where the real joy of football comes, and sharing it with your kids.
I don't think it does take the shine off anything. I mean, we won the FA Cup, no one can take that off us. Yeah, we're not in the Europa League, but sometimes you can't have everything. And maybe we'll have a good run in the Conference League, and maybe we'll get in the Europa League that way. But I definitely think it's unfair. But what do? Do we let this define our season?
Still on a high.
We're Crystal Palace, mate. Yeah. We've just won the FA Cup for the first time in our history, and then we've just beaten Liverpool, who everybody, they're the league champions. They're going to be the league champions next season. And we just beat them. Yeah. So, I'm really disappointed with those two results. I'm gutted. And we're in Europe.
Yeah, we've got to be happy.
Keep smiling.
So why have the Eagles been removed from the Europa League? Well, it's because they were found to have breached multi-club ownership rules. The American businessman John Textor had a 43% stake in the Eagles, but he also had a majority share of Lyon, who also qualified for the Europa League. Now, while he did sell his share in Crystal Palace, UEFA said that this was done after the deadline. As a result, it will now be Nottingham Forest playing in the Europa League, taking Palace's spot, who will now be playing in the competition below the Europa Conference League. Not what the fans here wanted or expected, but many of them have been saying they now need to focus on the football, and that starts back up in the Premier League on Saturday, away at the Europa Conference reigning champions, Chelsea.
Matt Graveling reporting from Selhurst Park. Staying with football, and a 7-year-old boy from Surrey has visited every major football stadium in the country. Why? Well, he's raising money for a charity in memory of his uncle who died from a brain tumour. Aisha Baksh went to meet Zach and his mum as he finished his challenge at Chelsea.
He's a football fan on a mission. Over the last year, 7-year-old Zach from Elmbridge in Surrey has visited every Premier League club in England with a specially made football in memory of his uncle Steve. And along with his mum and dad, he's also been raising money for charity.
We got it specially made with Stephen's name on it. He made it gold, and we just took it round to all the stadiums.
Zach's uncle Steve was training to be a pilot in the RAF when he was diagnosed with a brain tumour. Following years of surgery, radio and chemotherapy, he sadly passed away at the age of 26.
Brain tumours are still the biggest cancer killer of children and under 40s. Stephen was 26 when he passed away. He was the best brother that anybody could wish for. He was training to be a pilot in the RAF when he was diagnosed, so he was just wonderful, and I miss him every day. But this has been a lovely way for me to feel that it connects him and Zach, who never unfortunately got the chance to meet him.
My uncle Stephen died 10 years ago and never got to meet him, but I think he'd be a good goalkeeper and I could take loads of shots at him. And he was also brave because he was in the RAF.
Zach is a keen footballer and plays for his local team in Cobham and Chelsea's under-8s. And his 20th and final visit was to Stamford Bridge in Fulham.
It was really fun. We got to see every bit of the stadium, including Cole Palmer's shirt and all their trophies. It was brilliant and a good one to end on.
We're really glad it could be Chelsea, which is a special club to us, and I think we're all feeling a bit sentimental about the fact it's finally coming to an end, but we are looking forward to getting some of our weekends back. So, no, it's been an amazing challenge.
You were wearing a Chelsea kit. Is Chelsea your favourite team?
No, I support Arsenal, but I play for Chelsea. So I like Chelsea too, but Arsenal is still my favourite.
Zach and his family have so far raised thousands of pounds for brain tumour research, with this and other challenges, in the hope young lives can be saved and one day a cure can be found. Aisha Baksh, BBC London.
Lovely little boy. Good luck, Zach, and your family too. Well, let's see how hot it's really going to be over the next few days. Here's Gillian Brown with the forecast.
Hello there. Good evening to you. Well, it's certainly been a hot start to the week. Plenty of sunshine. Some lovely pictures sent in by our weather watchers. Pretty much wall-to-wall sunshine in Southwark. And look at that view. Plenty of bright spells in Richmond upon Thames as well. And that's really what we're going to see over the next few days. This week it is staying hot and staying bright. Plenty of fine sunshine. There'll be bits of cloud here and there, but largely pretty fine and dry. So high pressure is out to the east at the moment. This little front here will continue to move its way towards us overnight, so it may bring us a little bit more cloud for a time and the odd shower, but I do think largely it will be dry as we head through the best part of this evening. Again, largely clear spells as we head into the early hours of Tuesday. Temperatures between 16 and 18 degrees. Very, very muggy tonight. We'll start the day tomorrow on another bright and sunny note. Lots of sunshine across the capital. Little bit of patchy cloud here and there, but largely it'll be fine, dry and hot. Hotter than today. We could see up to 31 or 32 degrees. That continues again into Tuesday evening. There'll be a bit more cloud starting to build up as we head into the early hours. So a lot of that low cloud may stick around first thing, but again, our temperatures still between 16 and 18 degrees. And you can see we do have this cold front here. It gets a little bit closer, bringing us that cloud on Wednesday morning. It will eventually burn back to the coast, and actually through the rest of Wednesday it should be fairly fine and bright. You can see that cloud clearing, plenty of sunshine through the afternoon. Some patchy cloud, yes, but temperatures still could reach around 31 or 32 degrees on Wednesday. So another hot day. As we head through the rest of the week into the weekend, those temperatures will start to climb down a little bit, so turning a little less warm, but our temperatures are going to stay above average in the mid-20s at least, with plenty of sunshine as well.
It is going to be hot, hot, hot. That's it from me and the team. Plenty more on the BBC London website, including when, where and how to catch the glimpse of the latest meteor shower in our skies this week. I'll be back later. Goodbye for now.